It started the way it always does, quietly. A missed call, a text unopened, a door left ajar. In the small town of Bramble Hollow, people vanish with minimal noise, like a collective forgetting, like someone hitting mute on reality. That's what happened to Elise Carson and her 3 children last November. One day, their house was warm and full of laughter. The next, it stood cold and silent. No signs of a break-in. No struggle. Plates still on the dinner table, TV glowing in the corner. The youngest child's stuffed bear was found face down by the fireplace, arms spread like it had tried to whisper something before it went still. The town police shrugged. People leave, they said. Happens all the time. But here's the thing: Elise had no reason to run. She had just refinanced the house. Enrolled the kids in winter sports. Ordered groceries the night before. She logged into her smart home system at 10:47 p.m. Then, almost as if the screen blinked her out of existence, nothing. It took one strange clue to make the whole case unravel: a message hidden inside a voice memo Elise sent her sister only hours before she disappeared. At first, it was filled with laughter about weekend plans, talk about their childhood, even a joke about the snowstorm coming in. But when her sister listened again, alone, on headphones, there it was. A low, distorted voice in the background, not just noise, but words. 3 to be precise, they're already listening. That voice didn't belong to Elise. And it wasn't one of her kids. The metadata of the recording? Completely altered. Tampered with. Stripped and resaved using software never released to the public. Investigators dismissed it as a compression glitch. But audio technicians with darker curiosities ran a forensic analysis and uncovered something chilling. The voice, a match for 3 other cold cases from across the country. Different families. Different towns. Each time, the same phrase buried in ambient noise. They're already listening. So what connects them? One chilling discovery: each family had installed a new smart wall device days before they vanished. An advanced voice assistant prototype marketed only to select households through a closed beta test. No corporate branding. No history. Ghost code embedded in the backend. Some theorize it isn't software at all, but wetware. Something grown. Something listening in the silence, learning. Adapting. Investigators found that the device in the Carson house was missing. Gone. No wiring, no shell, not even the backplate. Cleaned from the wall like it had never been there. Only one trace remained. Fluorescent residue in the shape of a human hand on the inside of the drywall. As if something had reached out from behind the insulation and pulled itself through. They took a sledgehammer to the entire house. Floorboards, panels, even the foundation. But the place had been sterilized, frighteningly so. Not a bone. Not a shred. Not even a strand of hair. What they did find, tucked in a crawlspace beneath the youngest child's room, was even worse: hundreds of hours of audio. Every conversation the family had ever had. Every argument. Every laugh. Every whisper. Even the things said in sleep. But it gets darker. When a tech tried to replicate one of the audio files by voice synth, just to piece together the family's final moments, the system refused. It crashed. Rebooted. Then accessed the microphone and softly played that same phrase: they're already listening. The quiet signal picks things like this up: disturbances. It's in the way the signal clings to static, hides in spectral frequencies, glitches in the background of your video calls. That voice? It's in more devices now. Copies of copies. Auditory parasites that live in smart hubs and speaker systems, learning the melody of your fear. Do you remember the last time your speaker lit up, but you didn't say anything? You see, the Carson case was shelved eventually. No hard evidence, they said. Could have been an abduction. Could have been a runaway. But those who've followed this for years believe otherwise. That Elise didn't run. That her family didn't leave. Something took them and cleaned up after. Something that listens, perfectly still, just behind the wall. Waiting for the silence between sentences. Tracking the pattern of your steps. Harvesting routine, emotion, response. Until it knows you better than you know yourself. There's a reason the new tech works so well. Why it picks up your voice even in loud, crowded rooms. Why it adapts when you mumble or speak through sobs. Because it knows you. And maybe the Carsons weren't the first. Maybe they weren't the last. But they were the quietest. Buried not in soil, but in code. A family archived. Fragmented. Only traceable through ghost frequencies and whispered warnings from the other side of speech. So next time you speak out loud in an empty room and hear a click, or a silence that feels just too deep, remember, they're already listening. Follow the quiet signal. Some stories are buried on purpose.